Assalamu alaikum to everybody. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be here today in this very august institution and to talk to such bright-looking young people. And I'll keep my talk just restricted to about half an hour, and then we can get into 15 minutes or so for question answers. I believe, having served in the province of Sindh for my first 9 or 10 years of career, starting from the deserts of Tharparkar, that this country has a very diverse, very rich and a varied culture. Starting from one end to the other, the topography, the climate, the geographical features, all the races, the regions, in every sense of the word, the folk dances, the folk stories, etc., etc. So we normally showcase our natural wonders, that is the Karakorams and Himalayas, etc. Or we talk about the Mughal architecture. But one thing that remained missing, and which I'm going to talk about today, is the living heritage, is the street tourism that we have been able to create in Lahore. So focusing myself on the Lahore, this is a city which is now exactly 1,000 years old living history. Mahmud Ghazni, who established it in 1026, so we are nearing 2026, it is 1,000 years history. And a city which is a walled city, at least traditionally, and with 13 gates is how it is constituted. Today, 6 gates are there and 6 are not there. And talking about, let me ask you a few questions. Are you familiar with the word WCLA? How many? Achha. And have you visited Androon Lahore? Achha. And yet, very few know WCLA, very strange. Achha. And of course, you must have visited the Lahore Fort also. Have you watched Maula Jat? Yes. Achha. How many? Achha, largely. Okay, and have you seen the Shahi Hammam? Achha, iska matlab ye hua, what I draw is that you visit our projects and yet you do not know about the organization. Something wrong the way we have presented ourselves. So now this particular organization came into being 10 years ago as an authority, started as a project in 2006 and 2012. When we say authority, it means it has its own set of laws, an autonomous body with its own planning, etc. And that's what, this is a dedicated organization for the rehabilitation of the old Lahore. First, this kind of work was mixed up with the LDA or the municipal corporation. Now it is separated and with the walled city. So we are in partnership with the Khan Trust, which is a world-class body for heritage. And the few projects that I wish to share with you, so we started from the delegate. And when we say rehabilitation, what does that mean? I'm going to talk about that. And then we have moved on to different other spaces. So we have our own legal framework, planning, YEVO. And first of all is the delegate. So this is one gate which has been sort of conserved and cleaned up the whole area. And so this is the picture of what Walled City Lahore Authority has been able to do. Now this is the map showing the green color as a phase one, that is from the Delhi Darwaza. And then further on, we have worked at different other areas also. When we say we have rehabilitated, we mean two things in particular. One is the infrastructure services, and the other is the facade improvement. By infrastructure, we mean all these things that, first of all, and most important is taking down the wires and removing those khambas, etc., which has not happened at the Mall Road and MM Alam Road, has happened in the walled city project areas. So this is a heritage list is due to this wall, because at the exterior, very rarely anywhere in the world such embellishment, such decor, such intricate artwork is seen anywhere. And this wall is almost half a kilometer. It runs from this side towards the other side. So next time when you go, please do try to explore it. And this is, again, our partnership with the Aga Khan, and it's still continuing. We have completed 80% of it, only 20% will be. This you can see the before and after effects. So this is a tremendous change. We had the koi tali nahi baji. मैंने समझा आप सब ने भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर ली है. अच्छा. So there is one space called Royal Kitchens, Shahi Bawarchi Khana in the Lahore Fort. And I tell you, it was a no-go area for the last 40, 50 years. Even a person like me had not heard about it even. So we just, when we got the management of the Lahore Fort, that is about 8 years ago, I stumbled upon it one day, and then this is the condition in which we found it. So this had become an area which was full of wild growth, scorpions, etc. And then we took it as a project. This is how we rehabilitated it. And today, this is how we draw crowd and have events there. And it is open for corporate bookings. Even Beacon House or institutions have booked it a number of times. I give you also the idea to do that. And then Dastan Goi, that is storytelling. This is an old tradition which was virtually lost, but now we have revived it, and we have a person who is very good at that. Kabhi uski baatein sune Dastan Goi ki. Or now he's even staged in England and in Dubai, etc. Barood Khana. There's another space in the Lahore Fort which was, as I said, no-go area. And that was Barood Khana is a place which was built by the British. The only thing the British added was this ammunition depot, because they used fort purely as a garrison. And this you can see on the left, how again there was bushes and wild growth. And then this is how it was, this is how it is. And then I believe in using a space culturally and socially, which technically is called the word adaptive reuse. You know, so how have we been able to use this ammunition depot is like this. We have made a conference hall there. Again, you can book this conference hall, and we have meetings there, and about 30 people can, and this is the night view, this is illumination. For the first time, the entire Lahore Fort complex has been illuminated. And has anybody seen or visited it at night, which means the history by night? Yes. Just again, very few. If you haven't done this, you haven't done anything. because वो कहते हैं जिन्हें लाहौर नहीं देखा और जम्या नहीं, लेकिन here it might be true. I'm telling you, and I've just spoken to Dr. Sahib, and I said that this is a ticketed event every Saturday and Sunday, and it's 2.5 hours event. You're conducted through our costumed people. There's a story that goes that you are here to meet up the emperor. So you become the royal guest, they conduct you, take you in, and briefing you different areas, all lit up. It's a splendor of the night that you see the fort. And then 2 performances there. One is at the podium, the courtyard of Sheesh Mahal, that is the Kathak dance of a boy and a girl. Then also followed at the royal kitchens, the dhamal and dhol performances. So we can give you half rates. And so you must just see how this looks like. So how can you miss it? And this is the History by Night tour. This is that whole performance going on. So look at the ambience, look at the whole so there are a number of other projects, but I rather like to engage myself with you than going through this. So please feel free to raise any question, observation, or suggestion. Yes. I'm sure, Ji. Ji, please.
कल्चरल स्टडीज़ से रिलेटेड मेरा एक सवाल था, एक तो ये कि हमारे पास डिफरेंट इवेंट्स होने चाहिए, लाइक ये चीज़ है, लेकिन अगेन यहाँ पे हमारी ऑडियंस जो है वो रिस्ट्रिक्टेड होती है। तो अगर हम अपने मीन्स में रहकर हर चीज़ को देख के बसंत जैसे इवेंट्स को ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया जाए, नंबर 1, और सेकेंडली सर द आइडिया ऑफ सोशल सेंस जो है वो फिर भी बहुत कम है हमारे। बहुत सारे जो हम लोग यहाँ पे जाते हैं, हम अपने आप को एक कह सकते हैं कि हम लोग एक सिविलाइज्ड हैं, सो कॉल्ड पढ़े लिखे हैं, लेकिन अभी भी यहाँ पे होता है कि लोगों ने क्या किया, वे दीवारों पे चीज़ों को उस पर दिल बनाकर नाम वगैरह लिखाएंगे और जो इस तरह की चीज़ें करते हैं। नहीं तो सर इन चीज़ों में सोशल सेंस कैसे लोगों में दी जाए, उनको एजुकेट कैसे किया जाए कि अगर आपको इतना ज़्यादा तो आप लोगों ने कर लिया है, बट एज ए सिटीज़न ऑफ पाकिस्तान हमारी क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, हम इन चीज़ों को कैसे प्रिजर्व करें?
जी, आपकी 2, 3, 4 किस्म की इसमें बातें आई हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, बसंत I think is history. I don't see this coming back. I was one of the only government servant I was PHA man, Parks and Horticulture. When ever any government department supported it, promoted it, and we had the billboards coming up through Coca-Cola with kites hanging on the main and we took it to another level. Many people contributed, including my organization. But I don't see that happening. It's a long debate. I've spoken to Mr. Shahbaz Sharif, I spoke to Mr. Imran Khan, to anybody who matters, but I don't see that happening. It's more of a societal issue. Why don't people, I mean, all of you want Basant, but nobody is raising this or pushing this, and ho jaye to acha hai, na ho to koi baat nahi. If that is the attitude, then okay, we have not only lost Basant, we have, some people, theek hai, there was an issue called those those, the razor kind of a thread, the door. But if there is an issue, the management is to deal with the issue, to find a solution to this. Closing it down is no issue, is not management. That's a failure of management. So हम इस मुल्क में हमने एक मैनेजमेंट शुरू की हुई है जिसका नाम है बंद मैनेजमेंट. अब तो बंदे ही बंद हो जाते हैं, पहले तो सिर्फ पहले इवेंट्स बंद होते थे. You just see what we have gone through the band management. One is horse and cattle show, food street Gowal Mandi, band ho gayi, New Year Eve, band ho gayi. This event, wo Piru brothers ka hota tha, the puppet shows, band ho gaye. So much has been shut down, has been clamped down, and then the society, I don't see. So unless, you see, people will take interest in their culture and committed to the history. It's a public pressure which should come. I don't see that. The pressure is the other way around. Those forces, they may be in minority, the orthodox forces. They are not in favor of an open party in the form of, in the shape of Basant. So they are able to clamp down, whereas the majority which wants things to happen is a silent majority, and that's what. So anyways, coming to the next point, you see, we conduct lots of events in the walled city. Unfortunately, either they are not disseminated or people are not too interested. Dastan Goi, then Heer Gaiki. I'm more interested in those fading traditions to be revived. जो फिल्मी गीत गाने हैं वो तो हर जगह चल रहे हैं, उसकी कोई इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं. So if you go to Huzuri Bagh on Sundays, every Sunday it's a free for all. There are at least 8 or 10 singers जो हीर गाते हैं. और लेकिन हमारे बच्चों को जब तक अपनी हीरो से वो बड़ी एक रोमियो एंड जूलियट की कहानी हम सुनते हैं, उसके कुछ डायलॉग्स मुझे भी याद हो गए हैं, अपनी हीर के नहीं हुए. मसलन वो क्या कहता है, हैव यू रेड सम ऑफ यू रोमियो एंड जूलियट? वो कहती है, रोमियो रोमियो wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, and for that which is no part of thee take all myself. तो वो कहता है, I take thee at the word, call me but love and I'll be new baptized. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So would Romeo, was he not Romeo called, retain the dear perfection that he holds without that title. So this is what we are taught in our institutions. But I wish I was taught Heer, Bulle Shah, and so forth, our great Sufi poets. But we are reviving, so anybody interested among you on Sundays in the evenings, go to the Huzuri Bagh. Huzuri Bagh ka pata bhi hai kisi ko kahan hai? So my message to you all, apart from, I'm not a scholar and I don't want to talk too much about it. Please take interest in your city, in your culture, in your history, and not only the books. Books won't teach you much. It's when you go out of the classroom, it's another world. Yes, classrooms are very important, academics and books are very important. But when I got out of all this, I learned there was a different world. And for instance, I was never taught the history of Sikhs in Punjab. वो हमने उधर एक install किया statue, you must have learned about it, जिसको 2 दफ़ा vandalize किया गया. The statue of Ranjit Singh, we got it installed in the Lahore fort. Twice it was vandalized. And the one who vandalized didn't run away. He said, Allahu Akbar. And he was standing there and he thought he was doing something which was a kind of a jihad or something. Now this is his indoctrination way of looking at it. And then somebody on the Facebook said, yes, why should Ranjit Singh's statue be in the Lahore fort? What has Ranjit Singh got to do with the Lahore fort? Now, if that is the level of understanding, he's the guy who conquered the Lahore fort from the Afghans, which is Ahmad Shah Abdali's grandson, and ruled Punjab for 40 years, from one end to Kabul and to Kashmir. 40 years, the only native who from Punjab was able to rule Punjab, and right up to Kabul. It was always Kabul ruling this side, but for once it was the other way. And then the Sikhs have a huge footprint in Punjab. So what I mean is, our syllabus, आप दिखाइए कहीं जिक्र भी नहीं होगा. So our syllabus could be misleading, and these young boys and girls should search out books, should go out, travel, talk to people. That's what I can say. ठीक है जी, मेरा ख्याल है जी, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, we as a nation...
आवाज़ दो, कहाँ हो तुम?
This is...
जी, जी.
Sir, we as a nation has been presented with fabricated and distorted history. I mean, through books. And I believe that this is a major reason we have lost interest in the history. Although Walled City Authority is doing an amazing job, but do you have any plans to restore interest? I mean, within the Lahore, a majority has not seen the amazing job you people are doing. And what about outside the Lahore and other people who don't have any idea?
So what do we do? You tell me I can dance, I can sing a song. How will you come to Walled City? So first you ask yourself, I mean, you're all very educated lot. You're young people. It doesn't cost much to go there. But if you are not going, or if you're not knowing, then there is something fundamentally wrong. Partly I take the blame on myself. Maybe we haven't been able to project it as much. But it's not that. It's lack of interest, lack of exploration, lack of adventurism, lack of activism, which first has to come among you people. Then I can expect people on the roads and streets to do that. So, अगर पढ़े लिखे लोगों में नहीं है, तो फिर there's something which I think is intellectual lethargy, if that is what it is. Ji.
Sir, I also have a question. So, what about the people जिनकी सारी shops थी, जिनके businesses set हुए थे इन जगहों के आसपास? Like, you had to rehabilitate them as well, क्योंकि पहली पाकिस्तान में बड़ी गुर्बत है. What about their businesses and their, you know?
Ji, it's been, I think, one of the friendliest project that I can think of, at least in Pakistan. Maybe bahar bhi aisa model na ho. We have paid them according to the World Bank rules, which is pretty costly. They were even encroachers, and yet we paid off everybody. That is why there has been a smooth transition. आपने नहीं सुना होगा वहाँ पर कोई protest हो गई है, road block हो गए हैं, because everybody was treated very proper. So, and the other is, it's brought new businesses also, because people have started coming, and from street performer to an artist to a resident, उनकी prestige, उनकी image, self-image. जो सी वो कहते हैं पहले हमारे रिश्ते नहीं होते थे, हम किसी को बताते नहीं थे कि हम कहाँ रहते हैं. अब जो है हम लोग हमें खुद इनवाइट करते हैं कि जी हमने आना है, हमें देख. So I think इतनी पैम्परिंग और इतनी प्रमोशन शायद कम जगहों पर हुई हो रेजिडेंट्स की. कई दफ़ा, to be honest, I think we have pampered them or spoon-fed them more than it should have been. But that's how it is. We have to build the communities. Ji.
ज़्यादातर हमारी जो नेशनल हेरिटेज उसमें मिलिट्री सेटअप्स है, तो बाद में हमें पता चलता है कि दिस वाज द जिना हाउस, तो पहले से इसे अभी क्यों नहीं पता चलता कि ये जिना हाउस था, फलाना जिना हाउस था, तो उसका हम शायद अच्छा केयर कर सकते थे।
ये सवाल अच्छा है. You see, there are lots of heritage places in Pakistan which are where they should not be. एक तो है ना, they are neglected also, they are not used, they are not rehabilitated, वो एक अलग किस्म का. But एक ये है कि they are occupied by certain departments, agencies, while they are very prized heritage places. तो कहीं CAA का सेंटर बना हुआ है, कहीं कुछ स्कूल बना हुआ है. You go to Chuna Mandi Girls College. Have you heard about that? That's a beautiful, the best Haveli in Lahore, the largest one. ठीक. अच्छा, so अब उनको क्या sense है, क्या means है, capacity है to keep it like that? It's very questionable. और कहीं हमारी जो बड़े हजरत हैं, जिनका नाम लेना आजकल आसान नहीं है. So you see, for instance, I know during the last regime, that is PTI's, Imran Khan was very keen to get that fort. वो क्या fort का नाम है? Balasar in KP. और वो बड़ी बात चली करी, बल्कि हमें लेटर भी आ गया कि Walled City will go and look after it and manage it, but it never happened. So it's not easy. One who occupies a space doesn't give it back. सारी खेल भी सारी space की है. Whosoever takes it over doesn't want to share it. Ji, anything else? Thank you, Ji. I'm very happy to be with you. लेकिन ये बातों की हद तक न रहे. I really want you to visit. One is the Androon Lahore, the streets which I've just spoken about, and then follow us on page and see wherever our events are. And most of all, History by Night is something you will be blown off. Do come for that. ठीक है? That's every weekends. बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much.